Hi guys, welcome to a new track guide video, and today we're going to take a look at Indy, my least favourite track in ACC, but at some point we end up going on it. You can't completely avoid it. So this is how I get round it. So let's head to the first corner. Right, so braking point for the first corner. I'm usually aiming just before the 400 to start braking. And that depends on car, because the Ferrari brakes are really good. The McLaren, I'll go a little bit earlier, I'll start braking. But yeah, this is where I start braking in the Ferrari. Sorry about the wall touch. So down to first gear for the first corner, and I'll get as close as I can to this curb without actually touching it, because if you go over this curb, it ruins this next set of corners really. So swing over to the right and quickly use it to switch back to the left, and hold this left line as tight as you can, because from here now you should be able to keep the car flat until the next tighter right-hander. So flat around here now. And my braking point for here is pretty much where this rumble strip starts on the left. You could use the Fanatec sign on the right, but that might not always be there, especially as race starts in Indy can be a bit messy in this part of the track, while everyone's trying to get up the inside of each other, and yeah. So down to second, turn in nice and tight, get on the power as early as you can. So you shouldn't have to lift now until the tight left-hander. So use all of the track on the left. Give minimal steering input there, just so that you don't scrub speed off. Just be as gentle as you can on the steering. And then I start to do a little braking around here, which is sort of the end of the left rumble strip. There's not any good brake markers here. So, yeah. And then this next corner, I'll do kind of a double apex. I don't know if there may be a faster way of doing it, but I found I gained more time doing the double apex thing here. If you go deep into this corner, there's not much grip, because Indy is a very low grip track, and that's one of the reasons a lot of people don't like it, and especially when you go off the racing line by much. So yeah, going in fairly tight, letting the car drift out a little bit, and then towards the end of the corner, that's when I might start to get it back so that I can do a straight line and accelerate early. Stay left as much as you can, and then a sharp right steering input now, because this is it looks a simple corner and it's not a tight corner, but it's hard. There's not much grip. It is a tricky corner. So I try not to go over that rumble strip, because it can get bumpy. Even if you don't go onto the dirt, you can see here how bumpy that corner is. And then open the steering up, going all the way over to the left pretty much, so that you get a good run now down this straight, down to the next corner. So I'm aiming to brake around the 200 mark. You can go a little deeper, but in the race, if you go too deep here, then the guy behind you will be rubbing his hands together if he hasn't gone deep, because he's likely to get you on the inside if you push wide at this next corner. So for the Ferrari, first or second for this corner, there's not that much different. They may be a little bit quicker in second. Yeah, you're doing one less gear change, but I've used first here. And again, don't bounce over this curb. It's okay to touch it, but don't go over it. So this next set of corners are consecutive corners that it's important getting a good line into the first part so that you don't go wider and wider towards the right-hander at the end of these corners. So swing over to the left, and then you're setting yourself up now, so turn quite sharply to the right. Now, this, I wouldn't go any further than this because it will get bumpy if you take any more of this corner, and it can really mess the car up. It really upsets the car. And then swing it to the left, again using the curb, but not going over the sausages too wide because it's bumpy. And now you want to be as left as you can so that you can flick it to the right, because this next corner, this is where a lot of people, I've noticed, seem to lose time, because you can take so much of this corner without getting a track cut, and not everyone realizes how much you can take. So literally you can take the car completely off the track to cut this corner without it being an off track. And here you want to be able to, if you've got the line right, you won't need to lift at all now until the next braking zone. So I'm starting to brake just before the 300 here. If you go too deep here, again, someone's going to go up the inside of you. And it's guaranteed, if someone behind you's got a better exit on the last corner and they're up the inside, I would personally let them have it, because when you go into the next corner, if you go too wide into the next corner, when I say too wide, I mean 2 cars wide. If you don't leave enough room for the car on the right to miss the curb, they're going to bounce into you, and then that's you on the grass then. So taking this next corner down to first. Obviously, don't hit that curb. Just get close to it, but don't hit it. And then the next corner, this dictates how quick you go down to the down the main straight into the first corner. So I'll try and turn in. You could, I mean, to be honest, I would late apex this a bit more. This looks like, yeah, I try and apex this a little bit later than what I've done here. But it's most important to not get the car out of shape by going over the bumps. There's a certain amount of this dirt that you can cut where you won't feel anything, but for the most part, I would just use the rumble strip here and not cut too much of the inside just to be safe. So you shouldn't need to lift now for the final corner. If you've got a decent setup on your car, you shouldn't need to lift at all. And then that's it. That's the end of the track. It's a fairly short track, but because of its low grip, it's not an easy track. And another thing is the pit entry. I've seen so many people go into the wall on the pit entry, and if it rains, it's so easy to just not make that turn into the pit. So let's just go on board. There we go, and I'll just let that flying lap play out in real time so you can see the brake markers. Again, sorry about the wall touch. There we go. That's it. So I'm not the fastest around here by any means. It's not often I come on here. I can get into the 34s, and that's about it for me. I think this lap was oh, where's the results? So this was 34.995, so only just into the 34s. And that's it. So I hope that's helpful to you. And I shall see you in the next one. So thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.